This was a targeted attack.
You would never think something would happen to you at work. I just thank God that he got me and all of my coworkers out safely.
5 people are dead, several injured after a gunman opens fire inside a Maryland newsroom. We're learning about the alleged shooter. Plus, repercussions for a Longboat Key officer investigated for sharing photos of dead bodies taken at crime scenes. And what the new leader of the Manatee County School District says is in store for the future of the district. Your Suncoast News starts now. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter. First tonight, that developing situation in Maryland. 5 dead, several wounded. This as we are learning the identity of the alleged gunman. Investigators say Jared W. Ramos targeted the Capital Gazette newspaper. The Gazette's affiliate paper reports 4 editors and a sales assistant were killed. Investigators say he made threats to the Capital Gazette on social media. ABC's Janae Norman is on the scene in Maryland.
Authorities say the suspect made threats of violence on social media against the newspaper as recently as today. They say he showed up armed with a shotgun and opened fire, killing 5 people, all who worked for the newspaper. A gunman opening fire inside the newsroom of the Capital Gazette newspaper.
Several shots have been fired, possible shotgun, at least 10 shots heard.
Multiple law enforcement agencies rushing to the scene. Police there within 60 seconds of the first calls for help.
All units, limit your transmissions. Do we have any kind of intel on our shooter? Might help with a ponytail.
Phil Davis, a police reporter for the paper, on Twitter with chilling descriptions of his newsroom turned crime scene, tweeting, "Gunman shot through the glass door to the office and opened fire on multiple employees. Can't say much more and don't want to declare anyone dead, but it's bad." And writing, "There is nothing more terrifying than hearing multiple people get shot while you're under your desk and then hear the gunman reload."
First victim's name is Wendy Winters. Second victim is Rebecca Smith. Third victim is Robert Hyacin. Fourth victim is Gerald Feshman. And the 5th victim is John McNamara.
170 people evacuated safely, seen with their hands in the air outside. Officers not hesitating to enter the building surrounding the gunman, telling ABC News they recovered a shotgun on the scene.
It was very, very scary because you would never think something would happen to you at work.
And investigators have tentatively identified the suspect as 38-year-old Jared Ramos, and we're learning he may have targeted the newspaper over a lawsuit he filed in 2015 for defamation. Reporting live in Annapolis, Maryland, Janae Norman, ABC News. Back to you.
Thank you, Janae. Just moments ago, ABC7 learned that one of those shooting victims may have ties to the Suncoast. According to the former news director of WQSA, Rob Hyacin, an editor killed at the Capital Gazette, used to work as a former reporter for a radio station here in Sarasota during the late 70s. Now, we are still monitoring this story for up-to-the-minute updates on this and other breaking news right here on the Suncoast. Make sure you have our news app with push notifications activated. In other news here on the Suncoast, a Longboat Key police officer under fire for keeping and sharing photos of dead bodies is no longer with the force. Jeffrey Houchins has resigned. Longboat Key Police Chief Peter Cumming confirming to ABC7 that he faced termination after an internal investigation. That investigation found that he had committed multiple policy violations, including keeping photos of dead bodies from crime scenes that he had taken from a previous agency he was employed at and then showing them off. During the investigation, he was placed on leave. The Holmes Beach Police Department reminding people to lock their doors tonight after a woman came home earlier to a burglar in her home. Police say the Holmes Beach woman returned to her home on 75th Street around 2 o'clock today. She says when she went inside, there was a man in her bedroom. He attacked her, knocked her down, and then ran off. No word yet on what was taken from her home. A Manatee County armed serial robber and his accomplice have pled guilty, the two taking responsibility for 5 business burglaries back in August of 2017. Bradenton man Antoine Williams faces a sentence of 32 years to life in prison, and Palmetto woman Trinesh Ackerman faces 7 to life. During each robbery, Williams entered the business, pointed a handgun at the employees and customers inside, and then forced the employees to give him money. Ackerman acted as Williams' getaway driver. New developments now on a fatal crash between a motorcyclist and a deputy patrol car that we told you about last night. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office identifying the cyclist involved as David McIntosh. The collision happened around 9 p.m. last night on Cortez Road in Bradenton. The deputy involved was taken to the hospital but has since been released. Tonight, the Sheriff's Office is asking anyone who witnessed that crash or the events leading up to it to contact Crime Stoppers immediately. That number is on your screen. It is 866-634-TIPS. Well, Sarasota County has added a new pedestrian crosswalk near US 41 and 1st Street in an effort to increase pedestrian safety. It's called a hawk signal and gives pedestrians time to cross US 41, but it will also add a few minutes to your drive time. Drivers can expect to see a yellow signal to slow down, a red light to stop, and a red flashing light warning you to proceed with caution. A no swim advisory has been issued for Bird Key Park. Today, tests revealed heightened levels of bacteria. The beach will remain closed until further notice. Health officials say decaying algae, heavy rains, and animal feces washing into the water are responsible for those elevated levels. At this time, no other beaches are affected. Well, red tide is impacting some beaches here on the Sun Coast, causing respiratory issues for beachgoers and also killing sea life. Typically, the sea life killed during these red tide blooms are bottom feeders and small fish. But this week, a sea turtle and a manatee have washed ashore as well. Local businesses in Inglewood say they have not seen a big decline in customers, but 2 vendors at Inglewood Beach have been closed because of it. On Minnesota Key, Coastal Wildlife Club volunteers say it's been very difficult for them to work.
This is the worst that I've seen. It's been really difficult for the past week. You're coughing now. Imagine how we've been coughing, working out here for 2 or 3 hours a day, monitoring sea turtle nests.
This map from Fish and Wildlife shows the affected areas with the worst of the red tide shown in red. The beaches affected also include Lido and Siesta Beach, Nokomis Beach, Turtle Beach, and Venice Beach. And let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob, I know I've gotten a lot of texts, a lot of messages tonight, people asking, will this red tide affect those going to the boat races this weekend?
In some areas, but as you mentioned, the reds are showing up as 1 million cells per liter. That's the high concentration. We saw that down in Charlotte County into Charlotte Harbor. That's killing the big fish and the turtle today down south, and looks like lesser amounts as you push northward, but there's still a reported irritation on Siesta Key, Crescent Beach, Turtle Beach, as well as on to near Lido, but it hasn't been as bad in those areas as it has down south into Charlotte County beaches and South Sarasota County beaches from Venice southward. Look at this, an intense line of storms making their way southward now. It's from an outflow boundary from earlier storms that were rather severe, moving through Georgia and Alabama tonight. High pressure is getting beat up a little bit and it's weakening, allowing for storms to continue to progress down in our areas. Some showers offshore producing some lightning, you see that there, and some approaching near western portions of Manatee County tonight. So a rather active night in the Gulf, and we are expecting some of these showers to make their way onshore during the early morning hours. So don't be too surprised to hear some rumble of thunder. We have some thunderstorms right there over southern portions of Pinellas County. Well, more on the weather. We're in for a little bit more rainfall, I think, as we head into the weekend, coming up in a few minutes. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thank you. Well, it's official. The Manatee County School District has a new interim superintendent. Cynthia Saunders was sworn in on Thursday in front of family, friends, board members, and colleagues. ABC7's Rick Adams has more from the Manatee County School Board with reaction about today's big day.
Here, she tells us she's definitely ready to lead the Manatee County School District, at least on a temporary basis.
Superintendent of the School District of Manatee County.
On which I am now about to enter.
On which I am now about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
With that, Cynthia Saunders officially became the interim superintendent for Manatee County Schools.
Interim means right now it is up for, I believe the contract is throughout either sometime this year or by the end of the school year. And at that time, the board will have made a decision on what they're going to do in the future.
Saunders has more than 28 years experience as a teacher, assistant principal, and principal. Her most recent role was Deputy Superintendent of Instructional Services in Manatee County. She takes the place of Dr. Diana Green, who accepted the superintendent position for Duval County. Saunders and Green had worked alongside one another for many years.
When I came in, I was all about the 5 C's: calmness, civility, confidence, consistency, and community. I am highly confident that Ms. Saunders is going to continue that path.
Saunders realizes following Dr. Green, she does have some big shoes to fill. She tells us she's looking forward to the challenge and making a difference.
I came with her from Marion County. We've worked side by side for over 20 years. So I'm probably as equipped as anybody to step in here and continue the foundation that she's laid before the district.
A big surprise for Saunders at Thursday's swearing-in ceremony was an appearance from Bobby James, a longtime mentor of hers from the Marion County School District.
I don't think you could have picked a better person for the job.
And now that Cynthia Saunders is running the Manatee County School District, Dr. Diana Green tells us her first day as superintendent in Duval County is this Monday, July 2nd. Reporting from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Rick, thank you. In the midst of a need for tighter school security, the Sarasota County Sheriff and School District have finally agreed on a plan. This upcoming school year, school resource deputies will be placed in all middle and high schools within the district. There will also be an SRO in Booker Elementary School. Each high school will have 2 deputies on staff. Middle schools will have 1. The cost will be split 80-20 with the Sheriff's Office. That is about a $1.2 million price tag for the school district.
I take the sheriff at his word. He's ready to move forward and work together, and that is my commitment, and so forward we go.
As far as the elementary schools, Sarasota County School District has offered 19 officers jobs. 15 of them have already accepted. These positions, along with the chief position, are pending background checks and school board approval. The district expects all of these officers to be ready for the first day of school. A planned new hospital in Venice will have an extra feature that is necessary for everyone who lives here in Florida, a hurricane shelter. Sarasota Memorial Healthcare planning to build a multi-million-dollar hospital off of Laurel Road, along with an emergency department, medical offices, and a parking garage. That campus will include a hurricane shelter. Hospital officials say they're still working with the city on the permits and zoning requirements, but they do hope to start construction in January. Coming up, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, now in the midst of another hurricane season, how the federal government is helping those still recovering from last year's active season. And a close call caught on camera as a bolt of lightning comes down just feet away from a Florida officer. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC7 News at 4, premiering Monday, July 2nd. ABC7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC7.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
My name is Blake. I received a heart transplant when I was 2 weeks old. I play defense for the Red Hot Tornadoes. Sometimes my heart starts pounding like faster and faster as I go. I know I have someone else's heart inside me. It makes me feel happy because someone was generous enough to give me a second chance to live.
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
I'll be right back.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Happening in Florida, under a new law taking effect on July 1st, it will be a lot harder for minors to get married here in the Sunshine State. In the past, minors ages 16 and 17 have been able to get marriage licenses without their parents' consent, and judges could issue licenses to even younger minors, but that is no more. Under the change, marriage will generally be barred for people under 18 years old, though an exception will be in place for 17-year-olds who have written consent from their parents or guardians, as long as there is not more than a 2-year age difference. Now, the issue emerged because of the story of Sherry Johnson, who says she was forced to marry her adult rapist at age 11 after giving birth to a child.
It lives with you throughout your life to a certain extent, and then you have to bring the best out of that situation, and that's what I'm doing.
The child marriage law is one of 105 measures that will hit the books on this Sunday. And more money is on the way to help the state as it recovers from Hurricane Irma. The federal government has approved Florida's request for $616 million. That will be partially used to repair destroyed or damaged homes. A Florida police officer loading up his vehicle got quite a shock when lightning struck in the parking lot behind him. The moment all captured on camera. Take a look. This surveillance video released by the Apopka Police Department shows the bolt of lightning up the parking lot on Tuesday evening. The lightning strike knocked out power to the police building and damaged multiple electrical transformers, but no emergency services were interrupted in that outage. Wow. Bob, looking at that, that's kind of scary.
It sure is, and I tell you what, we had a gorgeous sunset tonight. Let's check it out right now. All right, this is actually from the tower cam, not Casey Key. Casey Key also saw that, but a gorgeous sunset tonight captured right here. The clouds off in the background there really helped out too, and we've got some spectacular photos sent in. It doesn't get much better, I'm telling you. It just keeps coming, these gorgeous sunsets, and the photos keep coming too. Get a look at these as we take a look at those. This one from Tamara, and you just see just a little bit of that sunlight coming through those clouds off in the distance, creating that brilliant display right there. Ray Collins was out near the Van Wezel, and he sent this one in. I'm sure he's sleeping now. He has to get up early tomorrow morning, and you'll see him here beginning at 5. And there's another, just a single ray of sunshine peering through those storm clouds out in the Gulf of Mexico. And from Marlene, we get another one as well. I think that's from Nokomis. Appreciate all those photos coming in. Boy, outflow boundaries from some big storms over the deep south, moving their way down south. These are heavy too. Special marine warnings are issued as a result of the heavy lightning and heavy rainfall as well, and gusty winds up to 40 miles an hour, and scattered showers in the Gulf. This gives you a little indication that that high pressure ridge, which has been really putting a stop to storms out there in the Gulf at this time, is weakening and pushing away. We have some rainfall now into Pinellas County, some lightning strikes there. You may see some lightning off the distance from Siesta Key and Longboat Key. Even from Venice, you can see these lightning strikes occurring. Nothing over land right now, but it looks like it's going to be there at Anna Marie Island and northwestern portions of Manatee County. This heavy weather could be on our doorstep, by the way. It could make it all the way down here around 5 to 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. You can see that rain now moving right down south of St. Petersburg toward Anna Marie Island. Rainfall was heavier inland. We had some brief showers here along the immediate coast, and we expect a little bit more rainfall near the coast over the upcoming days, and that means lightning will be with us. July 4th weekend is typically the most dangerous in terms of people getting hit by lightning, because obviously a lot of people are outdoors during this time of year. 81, it feels like 87 degrees out there though. That number actually is coming up, and as far as the high goes today, it was 91, 76 was the morning low. Tomorrow, expect a few morning showers. We'll still get some high heat indices up into the mid to upper 90s. A chance for showers exists throughout the day, and although it's not depicting this, I think we'll see some scattered storms as well. There we go, just like you listened to me, in the late afternoon and through the evening too tomorrow. Well, here's a look now nationally what's going on. Some big storms have been blowing up across southern Illinois, western portions of Kentucky tonight. It's been very hot across much of the central U.S., and it's only going to get hotter there as we move through time over the next several days. We still have some watches and warnings, severe thunderstorms possible. There you see depicted in yellow, as well as into the panhandle of Florida. Tornado watch in effect over North Dakota. And as far as we're concerned, I don't think we'll see anything too rough. We will see some gusty winds with those cells as they make their way through during the early morning hours. Well, current temperatures still hot in Denver after getting up to 105 today, an all-time record high there. Cooler over the Northeast, but they're going to see some warmer temperatures tomorrow. 91 in Detroit. 99 in Minneapolis, a heat advisory throughout the central U.S., 99 in Kansas City, and 100 into Texas. That's for a high tomorrow into Dallas. For tomorrow, scattered storms, west winds at 10 knots for boaters. Seas will be running 1 to 2 feet with a light chop on the bays and inland waters. The extended forecast looks like summer, doesn't it? A good chance for scattered storms running in through July 4th with a 40% chance on Wednesday night. High temperatures in the upper 80s. Well, earlier today, 30 military veterans had a chance to go fishing for free because of a wonderful organization who's been doing this now for over 6 years. Here's more. Paying it forward. That is what the Bradenton Elks Club 1511 did as they footed the bill to take over 30 military vets for an all-expenses-paid fishing trip with 8 of the top fishing guides of Manatee County.
This is unbelievable that they can do this for veterans, man. It really gets us out and into the real world and catching fish, man. It doesn't get any better.
These vets come from all the forces, and the camaraderie and competition is quite evident.
If it wasn't for the Navy, we wouldn't have our freedom here in America. Navy is the best. If you don't believe me, John Wayne has more Navy movies than Army movies.
Yeah, because he's still trying to say
that's
gravy.
my story, and I'm sticking to it.
The boats were stocked up with food and beverages, and the captains were happy to be there.
We're happy to do it, so we're going to go out and have a good time, bend the rod.
The boats took off from the 59th Street boat ramp, and 4 hours later, they came back with lots of smiles and winners. And here is one of those guys, a first-time angler.
First time. I guess you call it beginner's luck. Good thing is I won some cash out the deal.
Yeah.
I had a great captain, too, by the way.
He caught the biggest trout at 29 inches, and the biggest snook goes to this guy at 34 inches. Nice fish. Everyone was a winner today, captains and vets alike, thanks to the Bradenton Elks Club.
This is our 6th year taking veterans out. We receive grants from our national organization that allows us to give back to the veteran community.
And from the looks of these faces, this grant paid off.
Take a vet fishing because someday they might save your life or somebody's life that you know. How about that?
That's right, they might, and they're going to start doing this maybe 4 times a year now.
Oh, wow,
so that really helps out too. These guys have a great time out there. Well, here's a great big fish. This is from Captain Alan Roth and his client on the right there. Big red. That's a bull red, and you can see how big it is. Obviously, Captain Johnny Walker participated in the friendliest catch, and this was aboard his boat, helping out as he always does and has done for so many years. Captain Johnny, wonderful guy right there. And guide as well. Coach Steve Herrick of Beach Fishing Adventures also. That's right by the beaches there, Lumbo Key. That's a big redfish there for his client. And Captain Brian Marcy also getting some steady action. Got some bonita there as well as what appears to be, it looks like a jack and a barracuda. So lots of fishing going on. And Captain Alan Roth, who said he didn't really get any impacts of red tide. I had another gentleman who was out on near Nokomis Beach and Casey Key, and he said he had no reports of red tide there this evening. So
it's kind of hit or miss, I suppose.
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you, Bob. Well, sports is next, but here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Tonight on Kimmel, it's the very rugged Kevin Costner.
Well, that's perfect.
From 13 Reasons Why, Catherine Langford, and Weezer rocks the outdoor stage. Plus, Jimmy and Guillermo make it official.
I hereby declare you my friend.
Kimmel, tonight on ABC.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation.
No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
In life after the military, it's our duty as veterans to have each other's back. I'm retired Colonel Greg Gatson, and it's my mission to help you get the benefits and services you've earned. If you need to file a VA claim, remember these important steps. Submit an online claim through ebenefits.va.gov. Work with an accredited Veterans Service Organization, or VSO. And if you need to attend a VA claim exam, please go. Visit this website to learn what to expect.
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life. Missy Franklin. And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now, before it's too late.
Make us swim! I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
When ABC7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Sun Coast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
Now, sports.
Buccaneers quarterback Jameis Winston has been suspended for the first 3 games of the regular season for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy. Winston was accused by a female Uber driver of inappropriately touching her more than 2 years ago. The NFL handing down the punishment with a warning saying any future violation of the league's personal conduct policy will result in more substantial discipline, including a potential ban. Winston says he has eliminated alcohol from his life. The former #1 pick will miss the Bucs game against New Orleans, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh, and will return on September 30th for a game at Chicago. The Rays beginning a weekend series with the first-place Houston Astros tonight, looking for their 6th win in a row, but it would not happen. The Astros take the lead with 1 run in the 5th, and that's all it took. The Astros win 1-0 for your final tonight. Brazil's Superior Court has ruled that U.S. swimmer Ryan Lochte can be prosecuted on a charge of filing a false police report during the 2016 Olympics in Rio. At the time, Lochte had claimed he and fellow swimmers were robbed at gunpoint in a taxi. The prosecutor said he made up that story to cover up the swimmers' vandalism of a gas station. Let's look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto number straight ahead.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rosaire from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
All right, well, we're almost to the weekend.
Yes, looking forward to it.
The best.
And big races over the weekend, too. More storms are going to be around as a result of this trough of low pressure. Rainfall is out there currently, and we have the SpaceX launch tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
5:42. I don't know. It may have problems with these lines of storms moving through right now, but they say it's a go.
Okay.
If you can get up that early,
Yeah.
5:42, you may be able to see it.
All right, thank you so much, Bob. And thank you all for joining us tonight. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Have a great evening.